Today today I'm gonna do the Sister of Battle, like I said. So yeah, let's get that going. Yeah. So just get, and it's not often that I take a model from start to finish, on the stream. So this will be kind of a unique thing with that too, I guess. Either way, I just wanted to work on this model. So what is this? Is this just instructions or is this decals? Oh my goodness, look at this. Aha. It's a, it could be a painting guide, I guess. Or, I could frame this and put it among my other family photos. The one thing I already am not a big fan of with this model is that she seems to have an extreme lean. Like, if you look at the stance, it's like she's leaning to the right, but it feels a little bit unnatural. It feels like a little bit too much of a lean. So we'll see how the actual picture, we'll see how the actual model looks when I put it together. But for now, isn't that nice that they gave us this nice family picture of Sister Amelia Novena, or whatever her name is. Sister Amalia Novena, my bad. Yeah, there we go. My new family member, apparently. Alright. So there is no guide, by the way. There's no guide on how to assemble this model. We're going to be going in blind if you can get it out of the thing. This is always like the challenging part. Especially with a model like this that has lots of tiny thin pieces. I always freak out taking it out of this thing. It's an unboxing. Yeah. Right. I just think the legs, I agree. I think the legs are a little bit too out of sync. Like, it seems like she was about to fall over. Anyway, it's a cool base. That's neat. And I think I'm gonna paint the base and the model separately. So we'll get that done first. But first we'll just go ahead and... Normally I wouldn't cut close to the model when I'm cutting things off the sprue like this, but with the base I'm not as hung up about it. And of course gotta get in there and sand down the edges a bit. And it is like supposed to be sort of stone, so yeah, I just don't want to. I might spray this silver, and I don't want to spray this part silver, Yeah. I know, building stream. You got trolled. What can I say? So I might as well just glue this on right now, I guess. Yeah. Because I would assume how it's going to work out is that I'm going to... This is the only part for the base, probably. I like to put maybe a little bit too much glue on there, but whatever. All right. There we go. It's on. Wow. And I'm just going to leave that sit over there for now. Yeah. I'm gonna leave this here as like a guide as I figure this out. It shouldn't be too tough. Looks like it's just basically two pieces, and then the torso sits on top of the lower torso. So I'd imagine it's one of those, assemble the torso first, put the legs together. I'll probably put the legs on this first, and then I'll do the upper torso. Yeah. There we go. Legs. And even though it's on the peg, you still want to sand it because you want it to fit nice and flush with the other pieces. What I'm looking for right now is little like mold lines and stuff like that I have to get rid of, but it's looking pretty good. Not seeing the mold lines really. Alright, so now we gotta put the legs on. So for this, I will cut away from the piece a little bit. There's one leg. Don't need to sand that one. This one down, need to be a little bit careful with. And then a bit of sanding. I just feel it, and if it feels smooth, it's good enough. Some very nice, like, little detail on that, if you can see. It's kind of cool. And I'm gonna glue it on, so that would be her. Looks like her left leg. Yeah, that's her left leg. I hope. Yep, it's definitely her left leg. We're good. Yeah. I know that the base is kind of one of those strangely satisfying kind of things almost. I like it. It's the content you crave. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I aim to please. Now the real trick is going to be not putting her legs on backwards. All right. Hopefully that was the right leg. There we go. Oh, it wasn't. I put it on the wrong one. Oh no, it's ruined. That's okay. I'm so lost without directions. All right. There we go. So that's one. And then we'll just do the other one quick. Oh, the other one is part of the torso, actually. Okay, so that's convenient. So now this can basically just dry. Make sure there's no weird gaps. Looks okay. And I'm gonna set that right there so the weight is a little bit off that joint. I hate that when I use the glue and it just keeps bubbling up, you know? If you missed the last stream, it is up on YouTube in its entirety, actually. So you can go watch it. You won't be able to participate in Twitch chat, obviously, but you can live vicariously through others. Because I think chat pops up on screen anyway, so. But yeah, if you want to watch the contrast paint bloodletter stream, it is on YouTube. Alright. She has so many, like, tiny, skinny little parts. This is going to be a challenging model to paint. I mean, not that I was planning on doing a Sisters of Battle army anyway, but like just all this little detail makes it really unappealing. I'm gonna move this slightly over here. It's a little bit in my way. Then I can move that down a bit more. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's a bit more comfortable. Cool details. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you like it. Ubercharge Kovu? Overcharge Kovu. Alright. I'm glad you enjoy it. You should try it. You should try going and painting model or something like that. It's fun. Or do, build Gundam models. That's like, Gundam models are the gateway drug to Warhammer, basically. At least they were for me. Because I enjoyed building those models and panelining them, and then suddenly it was like, hey, what if you built them and painted them, and then you got to play a game with them? How cool would that be? And it was cool. So it looks like I might have to put this on here and then put the other thing on top of it. I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah. All right. All right. Fits together pretty snugly. That's nice. And now the top part. Stab. Not like that kind of dab, just a dab of glue. And, oh shoot, I forgot to clip off one little part. There. Good enough. It's on the bottom of a cloak, so who cares? Alright, and this should fit together pretty snug. It does. Hooray. Even the shoulders are lining up fairly nicely. Yeah. I know, right? I don't want to dab like that or I'm just going to like throw the mini, you know? Painting fishing lures? It's cool. I have not done that. Oh man, I'm missing all these little pieces on like the cloak to cut off. It's okay though. Alright, so that can sit off to the side, I believe. Because remember, like I said, I'm not going to glue it to the base right away. I'm going to spray paint the base separately. Yeah, that's my air conditioning. If you hear like a little bit of a hum, that's probably coming from the air conditioning. It just does that sometimes. It doesn't always do it, but once in a while it gets into like humming mode, and then it just hums. I don't know. Can't explain it. Sorry if that's annoying. That might actually be like some other apartment. I don't know. I can't stop it though. Wish I could. And I'm just going to cut out a couple parts here. This thing goes on the front. I'm going to do that. Alright. This is a nice peg. That's cool. That's going to go right here. Alright. Should check my messages. Hold on. I'm streaming now. Alright. Anyway. Back to... Oh, I see. There's like little candelabras for the base as well. Let's get those done. Neat. Who doesn't love a few good candelabras, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm like a few of the models that I've done lately, I've sub-assembled. So I've painted parts separately, but most of them I still just do all at once, for the most part. Alright, and this one will go here. It looks like it doesn't really matter what side the candelabras go on. This one will go over here. It looks like it's even the same piece. It's just like two of the same piece. Slightly different. There you go. Who doesn't love a few good candelabras, rather? Wow, 49 months. Nicole, you are amazing. Thank you. Not quite 49 years yet. I would be like over 100, I think, at that point. But 49 months is solid. Thank you very much. Always fun to see you in the chat. Let's see. And now for the head. Sister. There you go. Boom. Headshot. No, not really. It's such a tiny model. Look at this. It's like, it's so tiny. Like, look at the size of this model compared to my finger. This is like one of the tiniest ones I've ever done. It is so tiny. Like, compare this guy to Chad Necron here, right? Like, Chad Necron is like way bigger. And then compare Chad Necron to Giga Chad Primaris Marine. I guess they're about the same size, so forget that. Compare him to like Giga Orc Chad Brute. See? And then compare him to like the Infinichad Gargant. Yeah, he's not even in 40k. Now compare the Gargant to the Sister of Battle. That's true. Sisters of Battle are like normally human size, I think. But like this guy could totally just like grab her and like it'd be like Game of Thrones, you know? Spoiler alert. Yep. So you can see, pretty tiny. compare her to Chad Demon here. He's covering his face though, so maybe he's like Beta Demon. Yeah. Anyway. Why, thank you. I'm a bebop. Appreciate it, man. Alright, gotta put her down for a second. Gotta get more parts. More parts. Gotta bump the webcam as many times as possible. I'm just gonna cut out the rest of the parts here. Maybe we'll just get the arms on there and do the... I should probably do the backpack first. Yeah. So I was thinking with this model, rather than do the stereotypical Sisters of Battle color scheme of black armor, like black armor with red trim and gold and all that, because the thing is like black with like gold and red is a really cool color scheme. It's really neat. I like it a lot. In fact, I like it so much that I'm already using it for my entire Stormcast army. So you can see there's a lot of similarities in color scheme between this and like what she is supposed to be. So I think I'm going to do her armor completely different. I think I'm going to do a translucent blue. I'm going to try to use the same effect I used on this guy's arms for her armor, which I think would be really sick. And like do that like blue and gold, you know? I think that'd be neat. It's my kind of current plan for her. Which would mean that I would spray her lead belcher. Or at least spray her wraithbone and then paint a lot of it on there. But I think spraying lead belcher would probably be the way to go. It is kind of annoying to paint flesh tones over lead belcher, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really love painting models. I kind of I feel like I cheat a little bit because I have a whoops, the leg stayed on. Yes. I cheated a little bit because I have a degree in studio art, so I do have a little bit of a background in like traditional painting and stuff, and that certainly helps a lot. But I think that only helped me in as much as I was able to catch up faster to people that have been doing it for a while. I think anyone can paint that well. It just is a matter of practice, you know. But I kind of was already practicing a little bit, even though I wasn't practicing on plastic models per se. But just like straight up painting is useful. All right, this arm is a little bit tricky to get in here. That is concerning. Yeah, I don't know, the joint on that arm seems kind of wonky. There we go. Okay, it just hadn't slid like into the correct spot yet. That's better. Okay, cool. And one more arm to go. Where'd I put it? There it is. Oh no! Arm overboard. I have to lower my chair a little bit. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Actually, the scales are pretty easy. A lot of times with scales and things like that, it's just like a series of dry brushes. So you're basically just kind of lightly swiping a brush with pretty dry pigment across the raised surfaces. So you're not, I mean, on those particular models, I did actually go in and paint each scale. This one. Yeah, so I did paint each of these scales, but beyond that, it was just a lot of dry brushing, so it wasn't really all that bad. It wasn't really that tough, honestly. Which isn't what I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to be like, no, it was really hard and it took me weeks and I'm the best. But no, I'll just be real with you. All right, let's see. One more arm. How many times can I drop it before I attach it to the model? I'm just gonna use this to push it up here. And I know this is a sanding tool, but since it's an area that's like underneath the armor, I'm not too worried about it getting scratched up a little bit, because it's not really a visible area per se. And it turned out really nice, like that chain basically that is going to her belt, she's like holding in her hand. It's like some sort of icon of the Emperor. But there you go. There is the Sister of Battle. And now I'm going to paint it. Although I am tempted now to just go ahead and do this metal. I don't know though. Nah, I think I should do it more of a... I think I should spray this Wraithbone and then do it differently. And then I should spray paint this part silver and do the armor like that. Maybe. I just don't like spraying the head silver. Maybe I'll actually just take the head off and put it back on later. The glue's not dry yet, totally, so I can do this. Look away. Making sure to not use my fingernails because I don't want to like damage the nose or something. But I'll do maybe I'll do the head separately. Ah, the humanity. So now I feel much better about spraying this part of it silver, because it's pretty much all armor. Just that little bit of fabric, the little bit of cloth. Yeah, and I can paint over that. That's fine. All right, cool. So now, time to spray. Yeah. And what I need to do, I need to find some way. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna like putty this to the end of a brush. Yeah. and then I'll spray it that way. Catching up with chat right now. Alright, cool. Let's see. I think this is pretty much long enough. Alright. I'm going to use a little bit of sticky tack here. Knight of Shrouds is a fun one. I did enjoy painting him. My concern is that I'm gonna like blow her off of the paintbrush when I spray it, or blow her off of the sticky tack when I spray paint it, but I think I will be okay here. There we go. I did that because that's about the same force like the spray primer we go on, so I think we're okay. Alright, so that's that. And then I have, this is actually one of the greatest things, right? Like, I have this wine bottle that I use for all my spraying. See, it's got many layers of paint on it. But I just put a little bit of sticky tack on the top, and then I can hold that without getting the paint on me. What color am I going to do the hair? I don't know yet. Not sure. I kind of like orange. I like to do sort of like a reddish hair color on some of them. I can show you another model that I did that I really like the way the face turned out. I'll show you that in a second. So there is the base. Yeah, I think like red orange hair with blue accented armor. I agree. I think that would look really cool. That's the general plan. And then what I do when I'm going to spray a model independent of the base, I take one of these, just like a old unused base, and I put some sticky tack on it like that, and then I stick the model into it. And when you do this, sometimes like the very bottom of the feet might not get covered completely, but it's okay because you can just cover. If it's a tiny little bit of plastic like that, you can just paint it without primer on. It's not the biggest deal. But so then I can use this and stick this to the top. I can stick it to the top of the bottle, the wine bottle. Yep. Yeah, usually I'm painting much bigger numbers of things at a time. Me too. But right now it's just these 3 things. These cardboard pieces are from furniture boxes. So you get a furniture box that has a lot of like long wooden pieces in it. Usually they'll have some of these in here to create sort of a brace between the end of the box and the wooden piece. And so just take these, and these are just perfect because you can sticky tack them to the top of the bottle, and then when you're done, you can actually just like, you know, set them on the edge of a table or something like that and let them dry there, you know? So it's a really good way to avoid getting a ton of paint on you. So, that said, it's time to get a bunch of paint on myself. Yeah, normally I have like a big long thing if I'm doing a bunch of models at once. God, I need my spray paint right now. So what I'm going to use is called Wraithbone, which is one of the new contrast undercoat primers. And it's not really any more special than your average primer, except that it's light, so the contrast paints go over it well. The other thing is that this is basically white, but it goes on way smoother than the normal Corax white Warhammer spray. This is way better. Check it. That's right. There's, if you cut that part out, this is a great gift right here. Check out these guns. Oh, yeah. That's the type of muscles. I'm just working out in here. And then I'm just gonna step outside my patio here and spray it out here. You gotta shake it. These, you can't mess around with these. You really have to shake them well, especially if they're lighter colors. Otherwise it's gonna go on powdery, and I do not want that to happen with this model. In fact, I'm gonna do a test model first. Where is it? We're gonna use the sacrificial Vanguard Marine will be my test model to make sure the spray primer is going on the way I want it to. And once I know that, then we can do this model with a bunch of tiny details, right? Alright, I'll get that ready real quick here. And then I'll also have another Vanguard Marine to paint, so that'll be fun. Alright. So. Oh yeah. Is that ASMR worthy? Is that ASMR worthy? I don't know. It's really hot outside, so I want to make this fast. Never, ever do this indoors, by the way. Only ever do this outdoors. I have a little deck on my office, which is what I'm going to use. What I'm going to do. So, wow. It really does go on great. This Wraithbone stuff goes on so smooth. Check this out. Look at how silky smooth that went on. I love it. It's so great. Even if you don't use the contrast paints, it's worth getting the Wraithbone spray just for that reason. That if you're going to prime anything white, just, you know, use that. Alright. New thing, so I'm going to shake it a bit more. Okay, and the base is primed. There we go. I'm just going to set this up there. Now it's time to do the head. The scary thing with these primers is that when it first goes on, it looks like it's way too thick, and as it dries, it contracts back into the details. So it's going to look like there's a little bit less detail right now, but it will be okay, I promise. In the meantime, I'm going to set it over here. There. Alright, now for the last part. Except I just remembered I was going to do this silver, wasn't I? Not anymore. Oh well. I can still do silver over it and then do the blue over top of that, so it's not a lost cause. This actually might end up working better, honestly. Because like blue and white power armor with like gold accents would look really sick, so I can use this. Oops. It's actually not that bad. All right. I was just so excited to spray everything. Don't take that one out of context. All right. So this is actually fine because what I can do is I can, the parts that I want to do blue, I can just paint with like Stormhost silver, just like a really bright silver, and that'll actually look really good too, so that's fine. All right, so now it's just going to be a few minutes until it all dries, pretty much. Let's see. Yeah. I do like and I'm not going to use only contrast paints for this. This is going to be a model I'm going to put a little bit more time into. All right. What's up, Pesto Enthusiast? And the detail on the face ended up, I guess it's hard to see on the webcam, but it looks fine. Like, it's all there. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's kind of a small detail for, and I think my webcam is pretty good, but that's kind of a small detail even for this. Yeah. Here we go. All right. Almost turned into Tobias Futgay for a second there. Great. I'm glad you could see their detail. All right. Let me show you the other model I did, the other face I did that I kind of want to pattern this one after, while we wait for things to dry. So this is kind of the face I have in mind. This is a sequitur I did a while back, and if you see the face, I really love how the orange, like reddish orange hair turned out on her. She's one of the primes for one of my units of sequiturs. And she's got like glowing eyes and stuff like that, but yeah. But this is a model done 100% the old traditional way. Yeah. But yeah, the face and the hair basically is the same kind of process I've got in mind for this. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of hard to... You can get the detail. There you go. Yep. Anyway. Alright, so while we're waiting for everything else to dry, and it's pretty much dry already, but I just want to give it a little bit more time. What I want to do first is the base. And so I'm kind of figuring out how I want to go about doing that. Let's see. You know, eventually I need to build the Sylvaneth warband as well. There's lots of cool details with these guys. Sylvaneth warband for Shadespire, that is. So how do I want to do this? I'm tempted to use contrast paint, but at the same time, I'm tempted to just kind of like do it the old-fashioned way, you know? Because I'd be worried that the contrast paint would pool a little bit too much. Maybe I would consider doing like a really light coating of contrast paint. And it is supposed to be like sort of like pitted stone and stuff, so I think that could work. I'm thinking about either gray or yeah, maybe gray or dark oath flesh. No, not that. That's snake by leather. Maybe skeleton horde. Skeleton horde ends up being the color of like these skulls here. So it's kind of like a light sort of sandy thing. So I think where we're going for lighter armor, I think this would be a good color for the stone on the base. If you can kind of see that. It's kind of like a bit of an off-white. It's another model I'm working on. It's also the color that I used for this guy's pants as well. This is one of my contrast paint experiments. So it's like that. So I think that's probably good. Yeah. So contrast paint it is, but it's going to be a very thin layer of contrast paint. I want to put it on thin so that I have the option to go back and shade it later if I feel like it. I'm going to turn on the light. It's a little bit dark on the webcam. That should be a bit better for the most part. Whoa. You want more? How about like paint can shaking ASMR? If you can't see the paint can, I should probably show that while I'm making that sound. Anyway, these contrast paints, the new ones that came out, you really, really need to shake them a lot because it's basically like an emulsion of two different chemicals, and unless you shake it a lot, it's not going to go on correctly. So, something to keep in mind. So I did some metallic coloration over some of my Necrons. It's like these shoulders. Or over just dry brush silver. And the dry brushing wasn't very good. It's going to look a bit spotty, but you can see the metal really shines through the blue really nicely. Yeah. Yep. So this should be about good enough, I think. Do I have any metallic orange? They don't make a metallic orange, but you can get a metallic orange effect by doing a orange contrast paint or an orange glaze over silver. As long as it's translucent, you can do that. So, like, I've got, this is like yellow contrast paint over silver, and you can see it creates kind of a gold. Metallic gold. Yeah. Thanks, Jose. I'm glad you enjoy watching. Yeah. Metallic orange, cool. That's neat. Alright. So, let's do the base. And I'm going to put it in this handy dandy Citadel paint handle. They should really start paying me. Alright, and I'm going to use just a basic medium base brush for this. And this isn't even a good medium base brush. Like, this one has been like all beat up and stuff, but it will serve our purposes. In fact, I should really probably just use a shade brush, but I don't want to put too much on. I'm going to click this link because I trust Pesto Enthusiast. Oh, neat. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you definitely could. I don't think I've ever seen an army painted that color. That would be neat. Brass Scorpion? Is that one of the newer ones? I'm not familiar with that one. Or maybe that's just one I don't know about. Yeah. Hey, no problem. AAD Ninja. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I really think this hobby is so great from like a level that it lets me get away from a screen for a while, unless I'm streaming. It can be very meditative because it's one of those things where it's like it requires a lot of attention to do well, and so it sort of forces you to put the world aside, you know, which is nice. There's little flowers on the side of this here, by the way, that I'm gonna avoid a little bit. But yeah, it's just I personally think of it as kind of like a meditative thing, where I do it to just sort of like, you know, get to focus on something else, get to have that mindfulness of working on like a really neat little project. And the best part about this is that I get to play a cool game at the end. I get to play like a cool fantasy board game at the end of this, you know. And you don't have to have all your models painted to play, but it's feels so much better when you get to, you know, play on a game board and there's your whole army sitting there and it's all painted and it looks great, and yeah, it's a very fulfilling feeling. So that's neat. It's been a really fun hobby to get into over the last couple of years. I've only been in it for about 2 years now, but it's been great. So as you can see, I'm just going around with the contrast paint. This stuff is absolute magic, and just kind of making sure to get in there a little bit. I don't mind it being a little bit sort of, as long as it's not pooling, I don't mind if it's a bit spotty, because again, it is supposed to be this sort of, you know, spotted stone stair kind of stuff, you know. So as long as it's not pooling, a bit of splotchiness is okay. And again, I'm kind of avoiding these two little corners. I'm avoiding this because these little pedestals I'm going to paint silver. All right, and then I can go down and do this edge later. But you can see already it's a pretty nice effect. And so I'm just going to let that sit and dry for a while. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sit and dry for a while. Take a couple little areas off here so you can go in and draw some of the pigment off if you've decided it's getting to be a little bit too much. Okay. Like that's too much right there. But aside from that, I think this is looking pretty good. It's looking very shiny right now because it's wet, but it'll dry before too long. All right. And so I'm going to set that over to the side. Yeah. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is another great opportunity to do some miniature painting. It's cool to have a miniature of what you're working on. Oh, you know what's funny? There was a building guide here all along. It was literally sticking out of the box and I didn't even see it. Don't worry though, because I put it all together perfectly. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah. So, let's see. What's next? Maybe I could do the head. Alright. I might be able to do the head. It's a little bit tricky. Yeah. I kind of want to attach the head to the body a little bit, but then again, I kind of want to wait. I think I'll probably just do silver over most of this. Except for the shoulder pads. Actually, I can just do silver over all the armor. Because I can do different colors again over the silver. Which work out well. Now the consideration is, do I do like white and blue armor? And do like these sort of like the robes kind of like a cream color? I wish I would have remembered to paint this silver, but I can make this work. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just do it all silver except for the cloth. And the cloth can be... So if we're doing a blue metallic thing, then what color should the cloth bits be? They shouldn't be red, because you don't want to put blue and red right next to each other like that. Could do yellow. Yellow and blue look good together, but I'm gonna have gold on some of the armor pieces. Teal. We've already got the blue over silver, so the teal I don't think would be super great. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, teal and gold is great, but remember the armor is going to be blue. It's going to be like a metallic blue. Yeah. I'll figure it out. I'll just start painting the silver now and figure it out as I go. Yep. Alright, so for that, I actually need my other paints, and they are somewhere right here. All right. Let's see. To look something up here. Where? Okay, I found it. Yeah. All right. And where's that silver? I think I might just go straight up Stormhost Silver to make it as bright as possible. Rust Orange with a deeper blue teal. Not on any of my models. I've seen that, but not on any of my models, not yet. So I'm going to use Stormhost Silver, which is a layer paint, but I think it'll work out well for this. Yeah, the orange would, actually orange for the cloak, I think that's a good idea. I like that. I could do something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it. That's cool. I do have some nice oranges. I have a wide variety of oranges. I could go, like, start with that. Well, here, I'll show you. This is the range anyway. So we could start with like this. work up to this for the highlight, or for the layer rather. You know, something like that. And this is a bit bright, but it would darken down with some shade. So it'd be a little better. I think I actually have like a straight up orange base though. Try to find that. But anyway, I like the idea of orange. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I try to have a little bit of everything, you know? Let's see. How's this going? Yeah, I want to let that dry a little bit longer. And I should be able to start the silver on this. Alright. This is a really nice silver, as you can see. I need to shake it a little bit more. Also, as you can see. You know, actually, I could just go Leadbelcher Air. Or what's the new one? You know what I just realized is that I actually have sort of a bluish steel already. This Grey Knight steel has like a blue tinge to it. My other option is Air Leadbelcher, which goes on really smoothly. Bright teal with white and orange accented parts, that's cool. I mean, the paints last a long time. It's, I would say if you keep it closed, it can last, you know, years. Alright, so I'm tempted to do the Leadbelcher Air, which is a darker way to start, but then I can dry brush it. But nah, I'm gonna go bright. I'm gonna go Stormhost. Enough indecisiveness. We're gonna go as bright as possible. Yeah, that's the plan. Alright, it's been decided. Just moving a little bit of the paint to the palette. And I am going to be thinning this down just a bit. Normally you don't thin down layer paints, but I do want this to go on fairly thin. So let's just start this here. And I'm just going to go over all the metal. And if I hit some of the fabric, that's okay. You can always paint over it again. And I'm actually going to do the backpack Leadbelcher. I'll do the backpack with a darker silver to kind of differentiate the two. It's going to be a little bit tough to paint because it's only on this with sticky tack, but I'll make do. But this is the easy part because I don't really need to be concerned about hitting anything else with it. But already the silver looks like so cool. It's so bright. I love it. The blue's gonna look totally awesome on this, by the way. Yeah. I'm gonna switch to a little bit better base brush than this. Yeah, I know other people that have moved the paint to dropper bottles. I haven't done that yet. I guess I just haven't gotten to that point in the hobby where I'm that like concerned about it, but that's probably just because I'm new and I don't realize I should be. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, I gotta get the armor. It's a really neat model. It's just so tiny. And it's definitely coming off with a sticky tack right now. As soon as I'm done with this part of the silver, I'm probably going to move it over to the main base. You can kind of see the effect. It's like super, super bright. Pinning them into cork? I haven't tried that yet, no. I should do that. There's some painting techniques or some prep techniques like that that I just haven't done yet, and I should. But this is fine. I'm going to glue the bottom of this and then stick it to the base. I'm going to put a little bit of paint on the base, mostly on the feet. Careful not to get any on the actual white paint, since that would cause it to come off. And I'm just going to sop up a little bit of the paint on a napkin over here too, before I put it on. There we go. This will be a bit easier now. Alright, cool. Cool, yeah. That base is turning out pretty well. The contrast paint's dried enough that I can touch it and not have to worry about fingerprints and things. I probably am going to put throw a little bit of shade over some of this. Yeah. I do have the grip thing. Yep, the butt plug. I've not heard it called that before, but I can see where the name would come from. But all right, on with more silver here. For the gun and the backpack, I'm going to use that darker gray. Lead Belcher is what it's called. Alright, making sure I've got all this set up properly. The blue is going to look so cool over this. I'm so excited about it. The hardest part is going to be waiting for the Stormhost Silver to dry completely before I put the blue on. It's definitely going to be the most challenging part. Just trying to get a nice even coat of Stormhost Silver on all the armor right now. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. Right. Hopefully the humming is gone. I think the humming stopped. At least it did for me. If you still hear humming now, it's coming from your own head. There's nothing I can do about that. We're getting there. She's got so many like really tiny little details that it's tough for the brush to get in there and hit all of that without coming at it from like a million different angles. Alright, I think I've got all the light silver that I want to do here. Yeah, that should be everything. It's hard to see like light silver on white, but it is there. And it looks really, really nice in person. Yeah. Call out Jonak for a 1v1 duel? He would wreck me. I don't even think I could get a single kill on him. Maybe I could. It'd be fun to try. Like, I'd be down. If he's down, I'm down. You can put that on Reddit. That's about as much as a call out as you'll get. If he's down, I'm down. Maybe I could get like one kill. I don't know. If I was super lucky. But Zenyatta's the type of thing where it's like, if you're doing Zenyatta 1v1s, you have to actually like be face to face with the person. You know, yeah, once in a while you get a lucky right click maybe, but like most of the Zen 1v1s, you're like up in each other's faces, right? And so in that situation, I can't count on getting like a lucky headshot like Bren got against Gesture, you know? I have to actually go in there and fight toe to toe with the best flex support to ever live besides Jaehong. So what am I gonna do, right? I would like to try my very best. It'd be fun. All right, I should use the base actually. Make things a little bit easier for me. There we go. That's nice. All right, so the silver is there. Now what? Now I'm going to do the cloth. And I really like the idea of orange cloth. So let me see if I can find my other base coat orange. See if I can find that. Because I think I've got one in my larger thing of paints. I have like a small paint carrier that I use for when I'm like going to the store and hanging out with people, but still want to paint. And then I've got a larger one that just has all my paints in it. So. All right, let's see. Here's the big case. It's not full. It's mostly empty, but it's got all the extra paints I'm not using on a day-to-day basis. Nothing there. If I don't have it, I'm just going to use the other orange. Here is Troll Slayer orange. I already have that. Let's talk a red. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the only orange I've really got is gonna be the one that I showed you. So that'll work. That's fine. That works okay. All right. So that means go for the Wild Rider red, I think. And now this is another layer, right? So this is gonna be very bright. And it's a more of a reddish orange, but I think it's a good start because I think I can take this and darken it up with a shade and it'll look really good. That's what I'm gonna try at least. Gonna give it a shot. Yeah. All right. And then after I do this orange, I'm gonna do the head. I'm gonna stop avoiding it. Alright, so for this, I'll probably need a little bit of a smaller brush. just to make sure I could put it on without getting on the silver too much. So I'm going to use a Artificer layer brush for this. Ideally in front of the camera. Oh, and I can see a spot where I forgot silver already. Whoops. Shoot. Well, I'll go and fix that after this. I suppose this is the first color you can really see. So silver was kind of hard to see on the stream. I'm trying to be extremely careful with this. There. Okay. Not too bad. It looks a bit more red on the on this, but it is more orange in real life. Did you clip that and put it on Reddit? We'll see. Like I said, I'm game if he's game. Like, it's hard to challenge an Overwatch MVP with his own skin in the game, while at the same time doing like a mini painting stream. I'm gonna fix this silver real quick here first. I have to be ultra careful with this silver too, and not get it on the orange that I just painted. Try to get back behind the backpack. There's like all these little rivets and stuff in the armor that are making it kind of challenging to get back there. It's okay though. I can handle it. That thread is going nowhere, by the way. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna support that. It'd be cool, but I doubt it. But if he agrees to it, I will agree to it. I will take him on in righteous supportal combat. The most holy of Overwatch 1v1s. There we go. I think that's all the silver I need to do. I just want to double check now that I'm not missing anything. I think that's pretty much good. Maybe the underside of these armor things. Yeah, alright, cool. That's good. Alright. Thanks, Pesto. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for modding. Teeny tiny details. Am I going to a VastCon? No, I don't think so. When is that? Time for another arm. Oh, this is going to be so tough. Jeez. All right. Don't touch the silver. All right, this is all just preparation for doing the face in a little bit. There we go. Ooh, did it. Wow. All right. Yeah. No date set yet? Well, maybe. Maybe I can come then. I don't know. I don't know Avast very well, so I'm not sure if I'm invited. All right. This artificer layer brush is like okay, but sometimes the bristles are a little bit too soft. I hear like the sound of, it sounds like a leak in my room, but I think it's actually just like something settling. I don't think StarCraft 3 is coming to console, because I don't think StarCraft 3 exists. Definitely doesn't yet. I wouldn't complain though, that'd be cool. I'll take Warcraft 4 though first. That would be sick. I know we're getting Warcraft 3 Reforged and all that, but like, I think it's time for Warcraft 4. You know, I like team games and esports, but I actually really miss like 1v1 esports. Yes, I know fighting games exist, and I do watch a lot of fighting games. I love watching Street Fighter and Smash. I probably play more Smash than anything. And yes, I know calling Smash, you know, FGC is like a divisive thing apparently, but it's a fighting game. Come on, guys. Chill. Just because it never had an arcade game. Alright, so that is it for the arms. And yeah, it is more orange than red. Well, I'll reiterate that because it looks very red on the stream right now. I'm using a bigger brush now actually, but it's got a very fine point so I can get some of the detail in here. All right. Yeah, this is going to look really, really cool with the teal armor. Thanks to Pesto Enthusiast, who is not in chat anymore, but was around for the suggestion earlier. It's really great. I'm imagining it now, and I think it's going to be awesome. This is just a very difficult spot to put the orange in. I'm just going to have to kind of paint over other stuff a little bit. But that's okay. I can fix it later. That is a mantra of miniature painting. I can fix it later. Whether or not later ever actually happens, that's a different story. But it can be fixed. It can be. How to do orc flesh after Caliban green? I would suggest, if you want to go for like dark orc flesh, I would suggest the Athonian Camo Shade spray, and then follow that up with the Elysium green for highlights. It depends on if you want to have orcs with like kind of dingy or darker skin, or if you want them to have like bright green skin, you know? Because if you want them to have bright green orc skin, then I would go Bealtan green shade, and then moot green layer. But for what you're describing, it sounds like you probably want Athonian Camo Shades shade, and then Elysium green for layer. IMO. Yeah. And I know this because I've painted a lot of orcs, and I've done it both ways. You've happened to like hit the specific painting expertise area that I have. All right. It's a little bit tough to get in the back there. Yeah, you don't need to spray anything. Did I say spray? I meant shade. I probably meant shade when I said spray. It's hard to paint and talk at the same time, apparently. Alright. I just realized I was painting with the brush that had the head on the other side. I'm like, that looks like a good layer brush. Let's just go ahead and use that. I'm like, oh. I just realized. Hey man, if your rank and file look terrible, it doesn't matter, because they're only going to be on the board for like 2 seconds anyway, right? That's like the whole contrast paint thing, is that you don't want to spend a ton of time painting stuff that's going to be eliminated off the board ultra fast, so just get it done, you know? Having it painted to any degree is better than just like unpainted, you know? This is looking pretty cool. Neat. Right. Yeah, I know. What's the name of that tournament again? I know that's coming up. Why is my camera in the way so much today? I don't know why. It's weird. My camera just feels like it's in the way more than usual today. ETC, right? That's what it is. Elite Tauren Chieftain, right? I beat the devil out of it in my paint. This is my brush cleaning pot, believe it or not. It needs some cleaning itself. All right, so let's go ahead and switch to a darker silver. Yeah. Got like an eyelash in like an annoying position, but then I'm like afraid to put a finger in my eye because I've got paint on it. Nothing like a good layer paint in the eye. That Wild Rider red though is gonna look great. All right, I'm really happy with how that turned out. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now a darker silver. We're gonna go for Leadbelcher Air here. Could just use regular Leadbelcher, but I'm gonna use Leadbelcher Air. You know, actually, no, I'm not. I know what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use Grey Knight Steel because it's kind of a bluer tinged silver anyway. So this will be like, it'll have a blue tinge, but it'll be like a darker one. So it'll look cool in like a really subtle way. Right. It's a nice inviting brown color. That's right. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Bebop. Hope to see you again. Alright, this should be shaken enough, I would hope. And I'm just gonna toss it on. Oh, look at this color. It's amazing. Maybe it's hard to see on stream than it is, but it's this really, really nice, like subtle blue to the steel. Love it. Tiny bit of water, not much. Do not need much at all. And then I'm going to use that for this stuff. So this is one of the new paints that was new, like base paints that was released alongside of the contrast paint release. So this is not a contrast paint, it's just a regular base paint, but it is a brand new one. I think they released something like 88 new colors a couple weeks ago, and this is one of them, and I think it's amazing. There's just something about the new colors too that go on really, really smooth for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but these new metallics seem to go on really, really smooth compared to some of the older ones. So whatever they're doing over there, they are doing a good job. Whatever their chemical engineers are up to, they are doing excellent work. Yeah. And you can see I'm using kind of like a crappy brush, but I'm just getting it on there as much as I can. So you can see that's kind of a darker silver. And I'm going to use that for a large part of the gun as well. Yeah, the paint, like, it really does go on like butter, this particular color. I'm going to paint the whole gun this color, and then I'm going to go in with the black contrast paint later. I'm going to put the black contrast paint thinned down maybe over some of this, because I really like how the black contrast paint ends up as far as the edges go. For some reason, the black contrast paint edges on a gun look really good. They just come out really nicely, come out really cleanly. And if I kind of hit the hand here, it's not the end of the world, because they're both silvers, so they're fairly close. And once it's all shaded and stuff, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Yeah. Man, I do like that silver though. It's nice. Do I want to use it for anything else though? I could. I did find another spot where I can put a bit more Rune Fang steel on there. So I'm going to do that real quick. See you, Uber. Uber charge. Kovu. Alright. Let's use this. I'm painting a little bit over stuff that I'm going to paint something different later, but that's okay. Let's paint this metal icon back to the original silver here. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint these. I kind of want to do lead belcher with those, actually. Yeah, I'll do lead belcher. and just beat the devil out of it. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty good. I do want to be the Bob Ross of miniature painting. Painting as a just a fun meditative thing to share with friends and enemies. But your only enemies in this are on the battlefield, to be defeated in glorious combat. So this is the Leadbelcher Air paint that I'm using right now, and at the moment I feel like it's going on a little bit too thin, so I think I'm gonna switch to the old school Leadbelcher. Or instead I can do no, that's a little bit too close to the base. Never mind, I had an idea, changed my mind. That's right. It is a fiery crucible in which the truest of heroes are formed, and they drop paint on the ground constantly. Yeah, the contrast paint is really nice for just getting something done, you know, to a certain degree. Like, to a usable degree, right? Like I mentioned earlier, these guys, everything but the sword is contrast paint, and they look perfectly fine. You know, these guys, you could put them on the table, and from 3 feet away, they look great. You know, are they competition ready? No, but that's not why you're making a bunch of, you know, flak units. Put all your real effort into the important ones, you know. Not every unit is as important as the other in the game. Alright, so let's go back over this with normal Leadbelcher. We should have a bit better results. Yes, that is definitely going on a little bit better. It's kind of a dark steel sort of color. Which I think is perfect for this. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting in there on top, and I don't mind like hitting the bottoms of the candles or anything like that, because again, just like I've said many, many times before, we'll paint over that. I really like the contrast paint though as just a base for our base. It's created kind of this nice sandy, stony sort of mottled effect, as you can see, and that's something we can build off of. It's also something that if I wanted to, I could just leave it the way it is too, honestly, but I'll probably do some shading. I'm being careful not to hit it with the Leadbelcher though, because that would be annoying to go in and fix. Yeah. There we go. As you can kind of see how that is turning out. Which contrast paint do I use for the base? I know the one I use for the base is Skeleton Horde. And the contrast paints will always look a lot darker in the bottle than they do on the model. So I would make sure that you always, check to see what a base paint looks like on a actual painted surface before you use it on anything, because you might be surprised. All right, let's see. What was I going to paint with this? I can't remember. Oh yeah, I was going to paint the grenade with the darker lead belcher. Right, and I think I was going to repaint the chain as well. Just to differentiate a little bit from the hand that's holding it. The icon can remain bright, but the chain will darken up. Alright, and then I gotta finish this grenade, which is tough because it's kind of back behind things. But I'll get it done. I'm excited about the Atlanta homestand. That's going to be fun. I've never been to Atlanta before, actually. It'll be my first time. So that's exciting. I'm going to darken up these pipes. There we go. And I might actually put a little bit of variation in the armor itself. Like, do I want to maybe darken up like the breast area of the chest piece or not? I'm not sure. Because it'd be cool to have like some variation on the armor, you know? Let's see what they do on the heavy metal version. They don't. They have it all the same color on the chest piece. That's a little bit different, actually. I'm going to make that a little bit darker. I think that's cool to add like a little bit of subtle distinction between the different pieces on the breastplate. It'd be kind of neat. And when I go over it with the blue, it'll still probably look pretty cool. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to probably dry brush it with Stormhost Silver just to bring the edge highlights back out. And then I'll hit it with that blue. Talisar Blue is the contrast paint I'm going to use. Let's see. So as you can see, it just adds a little bit of variation to the armor, so it's not all just like the same flat sort of effect here. Because now what I'm thinking about is when I add the blue, any areas that I want to be a little bit darker, I can paint with this darker silver now, so that when the blue goes on, it'll automatically kind of be shaded. You know what I mean? So like for instance, this little, I guess it's not a zipper because it's in the middle of something that's fairly metal. Can make that darker as well. And that already looks a lot nicer. Yeah, you can see just giving it a little bit of variation I think is going to help a long way, or it's going to go a long way rather. All right, and then I'm going to probably, I might darken up the leg areas too. Or I could just leave those blue and then make this gold. Don't want to do that. I'll make that blue. Yeah, I'll make that blue. Never mind. Never mind. Put the darker silver back here on the back of the knees. That'll be a better use of that. So normally I would do black with that and make it sort of like a fabric effect, but I think with this we're just going to go more metal. You know, why not? More metallics, right? It's going to be sick. Okay, and so now I'm going to actually use a lead belcher a little bit more to go in and darken up some of the gun areas. And then I'm going to look at chat because it's been a while. All right. I'm excited to see how the blue contrast paint looks on different types of silver, because I've basically done a lot of effects here with like different types of silver, which is unique. Oops, there we go. Don't want to get any paint where I don't want it. I'm almost out of lead belcher on the palette. I'm like, I just need a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. All right, there we go. Sure. Well. There. Yeah, that looks good. That's cool. You can kind of see the different types of silver there, I think, hopefully. Yeah, all right. There we go. Yeah. Do the Dallas one again? Dallas was really fun. Dallas was really fun. Yeah, the homestands are cool. Atlanta's going to be fun. LA is going to be really fun. And it's going to be nice because I'm not going to have to fly anywhere for that. All right. So, I think we can go ahead and do the blue contrast paint. I want to at least do that before I end the stream. So let's see. So the contrast paint I'm going to use is going to be, well, I'm going to use two different ones. I want gold shoulders, and for the gold shoulders I'm going to use Iyanden yellow, and for the blue I'm going to use Talisar blue. Yeah, we'll see how it works. Talisar blue is so incredible. It's so amazing. Like, I was totally hooked on Talisar blue. For those of you that weren't around earlier, when I used it for the arms of this Caradron Overlord from Shadespire, and all that is Talisar blue over silver, and I'm like, it looks incredible, you know? And the Iyanden, the gold on this guy is the Iyanden yellow, and I was really happy with that, so I'll be using it again. Yeah, lots of depth. That is true. Yeah. Thank you. And, well, the thing is, Rograx, this is 100% contrast paints. Like, this is only contrast paints for this model. Contrast paints over silver. That's all this is. Yeah, I'm serious. It's only contrast paints. Right? Yeah. Nope. Okay, I take it back. So, the only non-contrast paints are, I used two technical paints. I used the red and the green technical paints for the eyes. For like the little red dots and the green dot in his eye. Aside from those dots with technical paints, it is entirely contrast paints. Because you can be detailed with contrast paints. You just need to put them on really thin. Yeah, like, there's a lot of really subtle ways you can use contrast paints that people aren't using them for just yet. And I think once people get really good with contrast paints, the results are going to be absolutely insane. I'm hoping that this will be another good use of contrast paints. We'll see. Yeah. No, that's lead belcher. So what I did is, it was lead belcher spray and then it was a aggressive dry brush of Stormhost Silver. I just dry brushed the entire model, and then just contrast paints over that. That's it. So yeah, just dry brushed Lead Belcher. All right, here we go. I am a little bit concerned about this step. So concerned that I'm knocking things over. All right. One thing that's really important to do, guys, secure it, because you never know when you're going to be streaming and then you're going to be messing stuff up. All right, so I think I'm going to use it's the head brush again. I'm going to use the Artificer layer brush for this. So we're going to go in and just be very, very subtle about it. And I don't want to get it on any of the orange, because I do not really know how you get contrast paint off. But if this turns out, it's going to look amazing. So normally you want to use a bigger brush for this, but I'm not going to, because I want to really be in control of where it goes. And when I'm doing this, I'm going up to the edge of the armor panel areas so that I can do one section at a time and I don't get any weird lines. Being ultra careful. Trying to be ultra careful anyway. All right, there is that. All right. So it's not so much how it looks now. Don't worry about how it looks now. How it looks later is important. I'm just trying to, my focus is to put this on as smoothly as humanly possible. It's a bit of a process, so I don't really want to stop right now. I'm going to get it all on first, and then not touch it. So I'm going to do a bit of that, but as you can see, like, it looks really good already, actually. And it's not showing up on the webcam very much, because it's so shiny when it's wet that it's really difficult to have it show up on the webcam. But I'm already pretty excited about this. Alright, I'm going to gently sit down the head. And I'm going to switch to the regular base brush for this. Let's go ahead and do this back part here. I'm trying to be mindful, but also work fairly quickly, because if you don't cover an area completely, it's going to give you weird lines. I'm a bit concerned I've already got on the legs a little bit. Contrast paint, I think to use it at its peak is actually fairly difficult. not gonna lie, I am pretty nervous putting this on right now. Let's see. But I do think the results are going to be worth it. And unfortunately, I can't mess with it too much now that it's already on. It's going to look a little bit streaky because it's going to take some time to dry. That's okay. So one other thing to do with contrast paints that I've found is every few minutes you want to take them and shake them a bit more because they do separate really fast. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I spilled an entire bottle of Nuln oil on my pants once. So I'm right there with you, man. I feel you. So with contrast paints, with anything that comes out, it's kind of like, all right, I see your intended use, that's cool. Now, how can I break it? How can I make it super cool in like a way that maybe you didn't intend? So that's kind of the idea here. Trying to use contrast paints in a way that's a little bit different than intended. Right. Need to sop up a little bit of this on the ankles. The chest is looking pretty good though. Pretty happy about that so far. Let's see. I just heard my computer making noise. I was like, oh no, did the stream shut off? But I think we're okay. This is like ultra DOA concentration right here. Oh, it's so hard to get underneath this stupid backpack. Why'd I put the backpack on? All right, darn. Maybe like use another brush to take off some of the stuff I messed up. Oops. Well, I can shade that out. That's okay. All right. No worries. Okay. And that is about it. I guess I have to do the hands yet for the blue. Sorry I haven't looked at chat in a while. It's for a good reason. It's concentration. Let's get... Trying to get it on the hand and not on the gun is a challenge. Putting it on a little bit thicker now, which I think might have been one of my mistakes earlier, is I could have put it on a little bit thicker and I didn't. It's still turning out okay. This will be a good experiment because I don't know how easy it is to paint over contrast paints. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to with some of this. So, be neat to try. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for the blue. Let's set that down for a second. All right. Cool. Yeah, 2 a.m. definitely time to go to bed. Oh, I didn't catch it. But bye. See ya. All right, so let's take a moment and check this out as it's drying. We got a very Captain America thing going on here. But it's much more, like I said, it's much more orange in person. It looks very red on the stream, so it's very like, we look like we have a very patriotic Sister of Battle here. But in person, it's much more orange. And I'm gonna put like Agrax over the orange so it'll darken it up. Yeah. Cool. So I think now it's time for some gold. This is looking good though. I mean, you can kind of already see some details coming out on the legs and stuff. This leg is definitely better than this leg though. But I put more on this one and less on this one. Still looks cool. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, everybody loves a good knee skull, you know? It wouldn't be Warhammer if there weren't skulls in like random places on somebody. Yeah, I think the gold is going to look great. I'm going to use the Nazdrag yellow, or the Eamden yellow for contrast. Rather than actually painting gold on it. It's going to make it look a bit more subdued. Is that what I want though? Or do I want just straight up gold? Because this is the gold that I would get out of that. I do like it. Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'm committed now. This was my plan. So I'm going to stick with the plan. But this is the first time I've really tried to combine contrast paints with traditional painting, or the old school, old style of painting it. So I'm really interested later on in this model to see how it's going to work out as far as going back, painting over things, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put this on a little bit thicker. Wow, though. I like that immediately. Look at that. It's like a really nice bright gold. People are gonna think like I'm trying to do like a Wonder Woman inspired Sister of Battle. Like, well, I guess. It wasn't really the intent. I don't have anything against Wonder Woman, it just wasn't the plan. Alright, then I'm gonna put some gold down here. And right here. Well, I got some blue on that too, but whatever. Gold on the front. Yeah, this is going to look really good when it dries. Because like I said, with this contrast paint, when it dries, it really like pulls down off the edges and makes like a really, really neat effect. Do I want to do anything else with this? Not especially. Yeah, but it's looking pretty good. What's up, Dane? How's it going, man? Thanks, Squall. Appreciate it. Enjoy my arm as I reach across to draw my brush. Anyway, that's the gold. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break and I'm going to do the head finally. So I'm going to paint the head. Yeah, I'll do that. I need a smaller brush though. It's looking very Captain Marvel at the end, isn't it? But that's okay. That was a terrible movie, but cool suit. Yeah. Oh, you're heading out to Atlanta tomorrow already? Wow. Exciting. All right, let's see. So I'm going to start with, you know, I'm tempted to just go contrast on the face too, but nah. I'm going to do the old school style, which is going to start with, where is it? Bugman's Glow is what you generally want to start off with. This is a nice, like, basic flesh tone that you can change to, like, depending on how you shade it and highlight it, you can really make it end up being like any human flesh tone. Whether that's like white or black or whatever, you know. Like I said, I'm going to show you where I'm going to do the style that I used for Stormcast Eternal's face. Just kind of like, not super pale, but like a little bit more pale, and then like red hair. Trying to be a little bit careful, but not like super concerned about hitting the hair and stuff like that right now. Important thing is even coverage. There. There's that. I'm trying to remember the orange hair like steps I followed before. This is my like ultra tiny brush, by the way, in case you didn't notice. Alright, so I set that there for a second. I'm gonna Google red hair because I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this one. I can't remember. Let's see. I think I did the same way they do like dwarfs, basically. Orange dwarf beard, there we go. Let's check out
Today we're going back
what
to
Duncan
painting
has
dwarf
to say.
giants because we thought this would be a great
Here.
opportunity to show you how to paint one of the most distinctive features of the dwarf team, and that's painting their beards.
What
An
is...
example for the medium base
There
brush,
wait, it was right there.
followed by a layer of Troll Slayer orange, highlight of Fire Dragon.
There we go. Thank you, Duncan. Look at that man. A genius. Alright, so Jakiro Orange is the first one. Do I have that? I think I do. I do. Here it is. Jakiro Orange. Alright, Jakiro Orange. Then Troll Slayer Orange. There we go. Then Agrax Earthshade, I have that. And then Fire Dragon Bright is right here. There you go. So I've got all the ones I need. Cool. Thank you, Duncan. 2 thin coats. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, those jeweler glasses would be nice. I can, like, my eyes can still handle it at this point, but I know, like, eventually I'm just gonna get too old. So, I'll enjoy it while it lasts, you know. Alright, let's go with the base brush again. And close this right away because I'm only going to need a tiny bit. And do the orange. Since I went to all that effort to paint the face, I'm going to try to not hit the face with this. Too much anyway. Maybe I should give her like a shock of like white hair because she's seen so much. I've never painted on the tip of a brush before. It's actually really annoying. All right, need a little bit more. Let's see, should I leave it like that? The hair? No. I think I need to... Where's the box again? Consult the box. Okay. Yeah, I just want to leave like one... Do you think that looks okay? One shock of like white hair there. And that'll of course get like shaded and stuff like that. What's up? Hug please. How's it going, man? That might be kind of cool. Yeah, we'll do that. But then I do need to paint that a different color. Basically, now that needs to go through a different process. Which is going to be, where is it? Always important to put your paints away too. It's going to be Iron Rash Skin? Yeah, Iron Rash Skin. Because you never want to start from pure white. But yes, kind of like something like Jaina has. Yeah, like something like that. That's kind of the right idea. So you never want to start with pure white because you want to work up to a white, right? So I'm going to start with this sort of, not on that one, I'm going to start up with this like little off-white, bluish color, and you're not going to notice much of a difference when I paint it on, but it makes a big difference when I shade it later. There. All right. So it's good to try to give your models a little bit of personality, you know? Yeah. All right, let's see. So now, at this point, I can actually just put this on the model because I can put it on the model because I'm going to do the rest of the shading and all that kind of stuff like on the model directly. So some glue down in there to break up the paint a bit. And I can see a spot where I need to add a little bit more Talisar, just a tiny bit. Didn't quite put it far enough down there. Normally I'd shake it up a little bit more, but this is going to be like down inside basically. And then I'm going to seep some of that out with this. There we go. All right, and then I can put the head on. Should be enough glue, and this should be dry. Yeah, these dry really fast. So, although maybe I should put some darker paint underneath the chin. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah. All right. I got to do that first. That's a good point. Okay. Let's see. Just gonna go straight to a bad and black for this. It's a tiny bit of a bad and black. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the sub, Shy Guy. 9 months. Wow. I should stream more often. All right. Let's see. Tiny bit of water. And basically, I'm just going to put some paint underneath the chin. What I'm really doing right here is just adding a shadow. Pretty much just putting this down here so that I don't need to worry about it later. Don't need to worry about that part later. It also makes the face stand out too. So it's got that extra advantage. Alright. And then there is a bit of glue in there yet. So I'm just going to push that down. A little bit of pressure, not too much. Not too concerned about getting fingerprints on the hair right now because I'm going to be painting over it with several layers anyway. And there we go. So the head is on the body. Cool. Alright, so I can darken that down a bit too then. So it's going to look a little bit weird because we've got the combination of contrast over silver and then we've got the traditionally painted head. But when I darken everything down, it should look a bit better. So I think I might put some shade over some of this as well. But first, I got to put some brown in, I think. Maybe? Yeah, I put in some like darker browns and stuff. All right, but I do have to get going, so it's gonna have to be a different time. So I have a limited amount of time to stream tonight. So thanks for watching. Sorry, Shy Guy. I know you just got on, but I have to end the stream there. Either way, neat, kind of cool results with the contrast paints. Once I get this model a little bit farther along, I'll put some pictures up on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, again, like Mondays is going to be ideally will be painting stream days, and as far as like what time on Monday that'll be, is going to be kind of like, whenever I happen to have time. Like today was afternoon, before it was in the evening and all that. But yeah, it'll be off and on. So yeah, that's made some good progress on the base layers of this. Got it built. The base looks okay. And eventually it's going to get to the point where like the face is going to be finished to like this degree, and everything is going to be done to that degree. I think I need to darken some of this up. It might be a little bit too superhero, too light. We'll see. But either way, it's just fun to experiment with the new contrast paints, and that was kind of the point of that. So there you go. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you next time. Keep an eye on the social media. Follow my Instagram, DOA Games. Follow my Twitter, GGDo. It's up on the screen there. And that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.